As you can see, both teams out onto the court now. Helvecia in their regular blue, Hartpury, of course, in the red. So let's show you then those two team lineups. So starting with London Helvecia, Alicia Grimmen is the starting goalkeeper. Back between the sticks today for Helvecia. Has played out court for the majority of this season so far. Back in goal, Evie Blackledge, Larissa Vieira, Emma Tune and Renata Ferreira make up the rest of the starting lineup. Carla Muriel drops down to the substitute benches, the substitute goalkeeper, and Erika Brito is the sole substitute option for Dimar Blanco Lahoz's side. Enrique Guillen is also here, taking on a coaching role for Helvecia today. As for Hartpury, Katie Christopher is the starting goalkeeper. Sammy Scrivens captains the side. Jade Grove will play in the pivot role that we are so accustomed to seeing from her. Amy Wathen and Kerry Walcliffe are the rest of the starting lineup. Fionn James and Laura Dodwell are the substitute options for boss Paul McHugh. So they're two depleted sides. There's not really many options by way of changing the game, substitute options. Both teams will need to ensure that they maintain their fitness levels across the course of the 40 minutes. How do you see that affecting the game?
It'll be interesting to see how both teams manage it. Yeah, I think you'll see two teams who have a completely different approach to it. I think Hartpury will be quite happy to sit off and try and conserve energy by sitting deep in the court, and then when they have it, look to utilise the quality and talent of Jade Grove and isolate her 1v1 with somebody. For Helvecia, I think they'll look to get the game done quickly. I think they'll look to have a lot of the ball, and I think what they'll look to do is maybe get this game over as quickly as possible. By that I mean keep the ball in play, get that ball moving, and get into a situation where they'll hope late on in the game they've already built a lead where they can just conserve that energy and keep possession, not really probe. Interestingly, I noticed that Alicia Grimmen, you said in goal, wearing blue shorts, which would suggest to me that while she's starting in goal, I would imagine that she will perhaps be used as a second option. She actually trained with Derby. She's at Nottingham Trent University as a football scholar. Plays in goal for Loughborough on a Sunday, and I know she trained with us most of the summer in and around when she could with football, and she trained as an outfield player the whole time she was with us and really enjoys playing outfield. Extremely talented. We know her quality as a goalkeeper, but yeah, definitely as an outfield player as well, she offers something. So it's a useful option to have, isn't it, for them as a second option. You say depleted squads is difficult, isn't it? But I think in both cases we see the quality. Walcliffe, Wathen, Grove for Hartpury are very, very experienced. Players like Emma Tune, Larissa Vieira, we know what they can do from the Helvecia side of things.
Yeah, well, we are underway. Helvecia kicking from left to right in this first period. The referees for this one, by the way, the two referees are Carl Jones and Nikolaj Seidai. The timekeeper is Magnus Rasmussen. Ferreira all the way across there for Larissa Vieira. Legs of Scrivens, now Blackledge. Helvecia the kicking. What of course the lack of substitute options does mean is that the quality players that we know the two sides have are going to be on court for a long time, doesn't it?
That's it. So it could almost be a real game of gunslinging, couldn't it, in a way, for want of a better word, where the real quality is going to stay on court and they're going to keep moving. And yeah, be interested to see how Helvecia look to use Alicia as well. We just spoke about her quality in terms of in possession. That's another option for them to conserve energy, isn't it? To go 5v4 and look to use the power play, and that's what they're doing here. Straight away they'll look to bring her out. We've seen it's a staple of their club, and the intent that they've had over the years. Enrique's always looked to use it across both the men's and women's format, and I think that's something they'll continue with here. Dimar, we know himself, is a very, very talented goalkeeper with his feet. Look to run the clock down with that. Can't afford to do too many of this though.
Yeah, they're giving it away there to Christopher, who didn't need a second invitation to try for the long range full length of the court strike, but it was well wide in the end. London Helvecia fell to defeat last weekend against Bloomsbury Bloomsbury's host venue, the Aldenham School, was actually surprising that game that Helvecia didn't opt to use the fly goalkeeper given the game state in the second half, or bring Grimmond into play as a fly goalkeeper option. Seemed to somewhat just settle for the defeat, and it got away from them in the second period. Bloomsbury there picking up the 3 points.
It's probably a sign of where they see themselves as a club this season, isn't it? They've gone through all that turmoil in the summer, and it's been a really difficult summer for them. Really difficult couple of years, I think, for the women's team, where they've probably been let down by the club a little bit. I think it's fair to say. And they've stuck together, they've carried on working, but what's ended up happening is off the back of that, they've probably lost a couple of players that they would prefer not to have lost. And then in the situation they've now found themselves in, they're just trying to regroup and almost refine a new identity. And I have to give testament to Emma Toon for the hard work that I know she does off court, and really hold the glue that holds this team together. And I think that result and the performance, good effort by the way, the performance that they had against Bloomsbury is probably epitomises where they're at, if that makes sense. A lot of waffle to say something very quick, wasn't it?
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. It's the state that Helvecia find themselves in at the moment, but they will feel that they can win this game today against a Hartpury side who themselves have issues in terms of numbers, and we'll see how it affects the game moving forward. It has started slowly. Neither team really yet to create an opportunity in the first 2 minutes.
But I think you're already seeing the two different identities of how they're going to play straight away. As soon as Helvecia got the ball, Hartpury looking to play that deep block, looking to just block out, and they'll look to play on transition and look to utilise Jade where they can isolate her 1v1. Like this situation, Emma's done really well there to keep the ball. And then for Helvecia,
all the way across might be an opportunity here. Blackledge, just thought for a moment that was going to be the opening goal there, Matt, but it's a little bit behind Evie Blackledge in the end, and she had to just readjust in collecting the pass across to her.
Yeah, tough one, wasn't it, for her? Just couldn't adjust the feet. But I think they will look to utilise Toon, Vieira, Blackledge, 1v1 where they can, look to utilise their individual qualities and try and make an impact that way. They'll be much happier to have a lot more of the ball, whereas Hartpury will be fine playing without it. Here we go, straight into that 5v4 with Grimmond up on this right-hand side.
Here she is with the ball at her feet now, back to Toon. Will be the dictator in this 5v4 setup. Choosing the fly goalkeeper for Helvecia. Forward from Toon, picking the pass to find Renata Ferreira, who has been impressive in the games that she's played so far this season for Helvecia. Slips over the ball right on cue, and it's out of play, but certainly want to keep an eye on the Helvecia number 9 and threatening the Hartpury defence today. Here's Grove on the turn, first instance that we've seen of her trying that.
Challenge.
Yes, wasn't it? Brilliant tackle from Emma Toon. Blackledge skips past Scrivens.
Yeah, that one is the difference in the two there that you saw. That there's a lot of control from Emma Toon. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's going for the ball. That one there, you can say, okay, maybe Blackledge is going for the ball as well, but she's coming in from behind Kerry Walkler, and it's just one of those challenges that I think endangers an opponent, doesn't it? And quite rightly, it's a foul, goes on the board, it's the first one. It's really good refereeing from Harvey Newster, I think it is, on this near side, isn't it? One thing in her mind there, didn't she? She put a team in trouble.
Makes the ricochet there, and we route through to Alicia Grimmond. Helvecia gets going again. Tight game so far. Here's Vieira, advancing forward down the left, all the way across to Renata Ferreira. Made the contact, but just not quite the right contact in finding the net.
She looks a handful though, Ferreira. It's the first time I've seen a player, I have to admit, and really impressive so far.
Maybe an opportunity here down the other way. Laura Dodwell, the number 22, freshly onto court for Hartpury, looking to make an instant impact.
She needs to work harder than that defensively though, Ferreira. Been disappointed. Lost a runner very, very easily. Goalkeeper's bailed her out. That's better. Better positioning.
Through the legs of Grove. Tune with the ball forwards. Tune with a somewhat improvised and rushed effort.
Vicious, wasn't it?
It would have taken something spectacular to beat Katie Christopher in the Hartpury goal from that sort of range. Grove was close to getting on the end of that. Space in behind the Helvecia back line of defence in Emma Tune as well. Falls the centre call for Dodwell. Maybe just an opportunity here for Hartpury to try to maintain possession for a little while, but instead it's a long range strike from Grove, and similarly to what we saw from Tune down the other end, it was audacious. Nearly 5 minutes played. It's still London Helvecia 0, Hartpury 0. Q there in conversation on the Hartpury substitute bench. Grove in a deeper role. Here's Erika Brito here, the London Helvecia number 11, just overruns it. Vieira, side for Ferreira. Up to Grove in battle with Tune again. No foul given. Grove continues and scores.
That is Jade Grove epitomised, isn't it? So strong here in just brushing Emma Tune aside. This is a very, very good defender that she's just brushed off the ball there. Really strong, used her body really well, and strikes the ball so hard. That's what she adds to this Hartpury team, and rightly, that is why she is such a weapon for them, and they find themselves in a position where they utilise her strengths all the time. Fantastic finish.
We see that from her so often, in turning the defender, spinning away and getting the shot away. And what a shot it was as well. There was contact from Grove on Tune, but I don't think there was enough in there for a foul as the Helvecia captain went to ground.
And there was no complaints, was there, from Emma? You saw that she knew straight away she'd just been well beaten, right, in that tussle. She's an exceptional defender, Emma Tune, really experienced player, but sometimes against strength, and that's all that is Jade is a really strong pivot, probably the best in that position in the women's division, and she's shown you exactly what to do when you're 1v1 with somebody. Hold the ball up well, and she's just used her body exceptionally well to wriggle free. She'll look again here, you know she will. She's done well. That's the other side of her game, bringing others into play.
Gone well through the legs of the first defender. Ferreira dealing with the lurking danger.
Take another look at it. This is the contact you're talking about there, isn't it? And all it is, as you see from that camera angle, there's nothing. She's just used her body well. She's got entitled her other arm out in terms of just to fend off the opponent, really, and that's all she's done. She's just too strong for Emma Tune in that situation.
James going back and Hartpury then looking for the longer option.
I think the one downside that I always find with this Hartpury team is they know that that's her quality, but the quality of the pass into her isn't always good enough. She has to go and do something herself that is just exceptional. Whereas actually they could utilise it a lot better if the quality of pass was in quicker. So by that, what I mean is, can they play a lot deeper as a 3? Can they look to play closer to their own goal line to almost bring Helvecia out as Helvecia's press out? And when they get Helvecia's top line into a position where they're happy that they could turn them around quite quickly, play that kind of ball in, and whether it's into Jade or whether it's into the spaces that Jade will create by isolating a player, they could have a lot more joy with it. I think sometimes it's a little bit hit and hope, isn't it? And they get lucky because she is exceptionally good at what she does.
Here's Tune with the goalkeeper forwards again, Grumman. Tune forward first time as it was sent back her way. Ferreira, though, that time unable to bring it down. Hartpury will be happy so far. Goal to the good, and they've really restricted Helvecia in terms of the chances that they've looked to create on the Katie Christopher goal. Paul McHugh there, the Hartpury head coach in charge of this women's team.
Head coach, chairman, cheerleader, everything you can think of, I think.
Grimman, good ball forward, Blackledge across the face of goal. Christopher able to pounce though before Brito could latch onto the end of it. It's a good recovery as well from Evie Blackledge. Again, the same question posed to the Hartpury defence. Drummond. Exchanging passes to Tune again. Grove is there to engage as the player at the top of the defensive setup for Hartpury. It doesn't come to anything for Helvecia. We have the goal clearance. Out by Christopher. Now James, nice footwork to bypass the first defender. Wathen takes a deflection on his route through, so that shall be a Hartpury corner.
It's good from Wathen. That is the other downside of having a player like Jade Grove is you look to her too much, and I think there Wathen's just shown you another example of how you could use her. Let Jade peel off towards that touch line and utilise the space that she's left behind to go and drive into and get a shot in on goal. It's good defending in the end, wasn't it? And corners come to nothing. Here you see how deep Hartpury will play. Really hard to break down. Well drilled, well-oiled machine defensively. Helvecia are going to have to move the ball much quicker than they are doing at the moment to be able to get through. It's all a little bit passive, isn't it?
Pereira there in battle for it. Does come out with the ball. Tune. Again dropping off, inviting Helvecia to break them down, but been able to do so as of yet.
I think they're moving the ball too slowly, Isaac, to be honest, to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's a little bit too easy for Hartpury in terms of defending the Helvecia possession play.
It's really hard when you are playing against a deep block, because I think the intensity of your own game has to be, naturally the game is slower, so the intensity of your own game has to be to just keep that tempo quite high and move that ball quickly, and that's where you will cause those sort of mistakes, or create those spaces.
Tune there went sliding in, it is a foul, as indicated for by the referee on the far side, Carl Jones. Despite the protests, here Hartpury with the free kick in a relatively good position this as well.
Really good position, yeah. Good area to go and play. We know we'll be hitting this one. No surprise to see.
Yeah, well, Grove stands behind it as the option to take, but not the quality on the execution of the strike that time. Takes Helvecia on to two first half fouls. Hartpury yet to concede one. Pereira. Blackbench back there to Emma Tune. To Ferreira once more.
Okay.
Dodd well away on the counter-attack, the option to the left as well. Here is Grove. Good save though from Grimman. She's outside the penalty area now, backtracking. But still the opportunity is there for Hartpury. Grove will unleash again, pulled the trigger once more. Brito only had it momentarily. Wall clear. Two Hartpury players there just got in each other's way though. Really big save though from Alicia Grimman as Ferreira went sliding in. The advantage here being played. Grove again inside the penalty area now, edging closer to the Hartpury goal, but still unable to beat Grimman at the moment. The rolling foul will be added to the count for the advantage which we saw played, but it was the opportunity prior where Grimman here makes the save to deny Grove that was the bigger opportunity for Hartpury.
Jade Grove's first touch just gave Alicia an extra chance, didn't it there? Just didn't quite get the ball out of her feet, which meant she had to stop a run. She couldn't move. Her action wasn't as fluid and wasn't as quick. And let's take nothing away from the goalkeeper. It's a fantastic save, and it keeps the game at 1-0, which I think is really important. Got nice pressure on here.
Yeah, couldn't go back to the goalkeeper there either, Kerry Walcott, so in the end just opted to reset, and Hartpury can now reset with their defensive setup.
It's just under 10. Clock just reappeared. Just under 10 to go. Hartpury will certainly be happy with how this half's gone so far. Got their goal. We know they're comfortable just playing without the ball, almost sitting in front of their own goal and saying to teams, come and break us down. So far for Paul McHugh, game plan going well, isn't it? Helvecia need to find something here, just an extra yard of pace, I think, and a little bit more tempo. They certainly have quality, we know that. It's in these kind of situations, that pass, can it come quicker? Because by going slow, it allows them to be able to get out and cover that space a lot faster than they would do if you're moving off 1 or 2 touches.
Yeah, Hartpury defending in the half-court style that they really like to do as well. Often it does favour a side who are a goal to the good in a game state ahead, rather than having to chase a game. That sometimes has been Hartpury's downfall as well. If they fall behind in the first half, they find it difficult to then get back into a game, given the way in which they like to play. But a goal to the good, and they have something to protect.
Risky business though, trying to protect a 1-goal lead.
Yeah,
we know how
way to go. Yeah,
and we know how quickly a game of futsal can change. So far, so good for them, and they'll be more than happy. They look comfortable, don't they?
Here's Vieira looking to change that. Well though by Walcott.
Really quiet so far, Marissa Vieira. You know, real box of tricks. Not had a lot of the ball. When she has had it, she's been well dealt with by Walcott.
Right place there, but into the hands of the goalkeeper, and that will bring about the long-range strike again. She's had 3 efforts at that now, Katie Christopher, but hasn't been on point with the long-range strike.
And I think maybe now the message, perhaps from Paul McHugh, would be to her just to don't rush it. Don't look to take that shot. Don't get almost giddy with it. Just keep possession when they win it back. Let's turn. Let's maintain the ball a little bit. Let the clock run down a little bit quicker. Keep putting pressure on Helvecia by going long and almost nowhere near the target. That's better.
Given away there by Tune. Scrivens forward to Dodwell.
And okay, they've not got a shot away, but for me this is better now for them with the lead, because they can just keep playing, and they've got a foul in a really good area out of it. A real mature decision, I think, just to maintain possession, and see Emma's frustration starting to get the better of her. Perhaps a little bit of mental fatigue there. And a bit of disappointment as well, I would say, because not a lot of contact is there in there. You can see why she'd probably be frustrated with that one, can't you? As much as you can see why the referee will have given it. But
timeout here called by the Hartpury head coach Paul McHugh, as Helvecia, with that latest foul, move on to 4 fouls. So threatening that 5 foul count, but still just on 4 at the particular moment in the game. Hartpury here with this timeout, and you would imagine they'll be looking to try to work something with that big tactics board from this set play.
It is a big tactics board, isn't it? That tactics board is bigger than a couple of players in my squad, I think. So, yeah, they'll certainly be looking to try something, looking to free up a shooting opportunity. They've got some really good options, the likes of Grove, Amy Wathen, Walcott as well, who can be threats in these situations. And I'm sure that's what they'll be looking at. Where can we find some gaps to try and get a shot in on goal?
Yeah, meanwhile for London Helvecia, we can just see there Ramika Guillen taking charge of this timeout. attending to something specific. A few final words as well from Dimar Blanco Lahoz. So we return them with this set piece, the free kick that was one for the foul on Dodwell. The Hartpury have up their sleeve. It's an interesting setup again. It's taken short on the turn, Wathen, and it's bundled in. And well, the plan has worked to a T. Kerry Walcliffe with the finish from close range, the simplest of touches over the goal line, and Hartpury make it 2.
I don't think it was quite the plan, but they've certainly got somewhere with it, haven't they? Almost shot straight at Alicia Grimmond. She'll probably be disappointed that, I don't know whether she'll be disappointed she's not been able to palm it away, or more disappointed in her defence to her not reacting quickly. But 2-0, and Hartpury in real control now. Great to see. Well worked set pieces, isn't it? Different things.
Yeah, how many times do we see a timeout call for a set piece like that, and it doesn't really come to anything in the end, and it's actually so frustrating for the coach at that stage as well. But it's worked well for Hartpury on that occasion. Kerry Walcliffe with the final touch as the ball ricocheted back her way. Task in hand now for London Helvecia has just become doubly difficult. Still 28 minutes to play. There's a long way to go in the game. Hartpury now have themselves a cushion. Goals from Grove and Walcliffe. Vieira sold her teammate a little bit short with that ball forwards. Didn't really allow for Blackledge to collect. For Grimman. Misplaced pass from Emma Tune.
That probably sums things up for Helvecia so far. Really uncharacteristic. You don't see many of them from Emma at all, but really frustrating afternoon so far for Helvecia. Not really getting anywhere off that top line, are they, with this fly goalkeeper? Not moving the ball quick enough to make it difficult for Hartpury. Not being able to get the ball in behind, whether it's down the channels or through the middle. In these situations, that's the first time I've seen them actually move it quicker.
Back here to Ferreira, and Vieira should score but doesn't.
It's literally the first time that they've moved that ball quickly, they've broke through, and it's a lovely 3-player move, isn't it? And Marissa Vieira, as you say, has to score, or at least has to hit the target.
Yeah, that should be 2-1. The opportunity by far the best that London Helvecia have created. Big chance, goes begging.
Certainly a missed opportunity, that.
Again, Helvecia persisting with the 5v4 by goalkeeper, but better passes than that. Certainly if you're bringing the goalkeeper out of net.
I don't know if it's the pass there you can blame, or the lack of concentration from Marissa Vieira, probably still thinking about that chance a little bit. Got to be on your toes, haven't you? And as you say, can't afford to have loose ones. As it is, ball's running out of play, but Jane will be happy. Jade Grove will be happy having that ball all day there at 2-0. We know it's not always pretty, but this Hartpury team will be quite happy to grind this out if they have to.
Taking short there forward from Wathen. Back again to Amy Wathen. Around the edge of the penalty area. Grove takes it back for Walcliffe. 2 goal scorers combining. Grove will look to get the shot away and does, but that time it's a comfortable hold for Grimman. Regular 4v4 play at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think Helvecia will get any joy out of 4v4 today. I don't think they have intensity or the, for once, I'm going to say it, and probably not what you'd associate with this team. I don't think they have the quality to break Hartpury down 4v4. They have to go 5v4. They have to get themselves into situations where they can overload, but then they have to move the ball quickly with that. We've seen them pretty much use this same 5 for the majority, haven't we?
Blackledge there forward to Ferreira. Long range strike was on target that time, but didn't have anywhere near enough pace behind it, and was swept up well by Chin.
It's really good from Kerry Walcott to get out very quickly to release your Grimmond. Stop that opportunity for that pass down the line. You've got to get out now. So for Larissa Vieira there, once he goes in and she realises she can't play across goal, she's got to move that ball straight back out to her goalkeeper to try and move the ball around the other side. A lot of players will get stuck with the ball in that corner, and it's actually a really dangerous area for you because it's an area that the defence, for me, can overload.
Ball from Tune, Blackledge. Back to Vieira again, Helvecia kicking.
We'll see Hartpury quite happy getting into situations where they can defend 2v1 or 2v2 in their favour.
Grimmond into Blackledge, but it's not going to work.
It's just decision making, isn't it, at the moment, when they're in that fly goalkeeper, not quite there. You certainly see straight away this is how they will have the majority of the ball, I would say. Sloppy one. We talk a lot, I know, in derby sessions about how that kind of area, players' natural reaction is to play down the same channel of the court. So many times the ball will either roll out or play like that, or you'll end up surrendering possession. And I think you have to try and encourage players to open out from that fixed position off a kick in. When we open out, can we switch that play to the opposite side of the court quickly, and then we'll reset from there? Because yeah, when you're playing the same channel, I think it makes it really, really easy to press and defend out like this, where you just end up forcing yourselves into areas where you're trapping yourself.
Yeah, running out of room that time. It's out of the kick in. Still over 5 minutes to play in this first half. Hartpury leading by 2-0. Grove the scorer of the first, Walcott with the second. Paul McHugh there conducting the Hartpury Orchestra from the touchline. He'll be pleased with what he's seen from his side so far.
I think he will be, yeah. He'll be really pleased with it. They defended really well, first and foremost. And then they've taken their chances, haven't they? They've scored 2 really good goals. Individual brilliance from Jade Grove with the first one, and then the second one's a really well-worked set piece. Okay, execution probably wasn't quite what they'd expected, but they've got lucky with it.
Long-range strike, and it's in! And it's in for 3. And well, Helvecia have had warning signs in giving the ball away whilst playing with the goalkeeper forwards. That time, they're made to pay. 3-0.
And this is the difficulty with loose passes, as you pointed out earlier, and also in that situation, not really having an understanding of playing almost that high, wide area on a fly goalkeeper, isn't it? And Hartpury have defended it well and deserved that 3rd goal. With 5 minutes to go in this first half, you have to feel this one might be done.
Yeah, Amy Wathen with the long-range strike. The goalkeeper, Katie Christopher's, had a few efforts, but Wathen on point with the execution of the 30-metre strike. It was a long way back.
And they're harder to score than people realise. Very small target from that sort of distance.
Here's Brita. Vieira. Wathen setting the counter-attack alight here. The Hartpury again. June did well that time. Grove again on the turn. Hartpury corner. Back to Wathen again, trying to work the through in the line there, Hartpury, but it was just controlled by Grove.
Yeah, unfortunate one, wasn't it? Probably not quite the accuracy on the pass back to her, but again, they'll be really happy and opting to leave Grimond at home this time.
Brito back in there for Renata Ferreira, but just couldn't quite divert the angle on the ball where she wanted. Long throw out there from Christopher. Well, didn't control. Brito. Challenge from the backtracking Grove. Well, still in battle for it. We win that particular duel. What needs to change for London Helvecia then, Matt, if they want to somehow find a way back into this? If they get one back before half-time, then they'll have their tails up going into the second half, but it hasn't looked likely so far. What do you think they need to change? Yeah,
obviously, goals change games. But I think the biggest problem that they have, they look beaten, don't they? You look at their body language, you look at the way they've approached the game, I think they look beaten already. I think there's a lack of, I don't want to say a lack of effort, because they're obviously trying really hard, but perhaps a lack of fight in terms of now they're in this situation. And sometimes you just have to dig in, don't you? But you have to work incredibly hard, and you have to move that ball quicker and with more quality than what they are moving it. And I personally, I think now at 3-0 down, I would keep moving towards the 5v4, keep Alicia up the court. I think they can play all day at 4v4 and not break Hartpury down with the way that they're playing. So go to this fly goalkeeper, keep moving that ball quicker, keep trying to break through. They will get lucky sooner or later, and if hopefully they can get lucky while the game is still at 3-0, and they will find something from it.
Grove with her back to goal again as she collects possession.
She did really well. So huge strength. When you're under pressure, okay, in this one, probably not the best example of that kind of game, but you know, if they're being pressed, to be able to have that almost release valve of going and playing into Jade's feet is massive. It's a clumsy one, isn't it?
Yeah, coming together of bodies there between Scrivens and Ferreira. Certainly took the force of the challenge.
Just determination, I think, from Sammy to try and get there, and so no one meant anything from that. They've just tangled her legs, isn't it? And yeah, luckily nobody hurt.
Ferreira there taking the kick back to Chew. Vieira just controlling the tempo. That allowed for Grimond to come forwards again. Ball played across to Grimond here. Go down, there's a chance.
I think he will, yeah. I think Alicia probably will be disappointed that as this ball comes across, she hasn't just taken a touch first just to set herself, be able to hit the target. She's tried to go first time, and always when you're playing first time in those situations,
chance here at the other end. It's into the side netting.
I think when you go first time in those situations, was the point I was making, and this game goes so quickly sometimes, doesn't it? But you just lose that element of control over the action you're trying to make, and that's what you've seen from Alicia's shot there. Really good chance for Hartpury to build on their lead, though.
Here's Vieira for Ferreira over the top.
It's better. It's better, and that's how quickly this game could change. As you said earlier, a goal before half-time, 3-1, different reflection, just gives them a bit of belief, doesn't it? And I think that's what they're missing at the moment, because I think that's why they look beaten. Really
close in there as well, Renata Ferreira. Probably feel herself that she Should at least have forced a save from Christopher. Another opportunity. Another one not taken. Where Helvecia haven't, Hartpury have been clinical in taking their chances in this first half. Scrivens. Vieira just sidesteps away from Walcliffe. Helvecia kicking right in front of their substitutes bench. Brimman joins the attack once more. Chin. Forward all the way down the line. Blackledge went in search of Ferreira.
Wotherton, wow, hasn't she just to step across there and snuff that out really quickly.
There have been better signs for London Helvecia in the last few minutes. Will they make it count? Tune. Sprinting it all the way across, but couldn't find Ferreira.
Ferreira probably needs to do better with that, needs to anticipate that that pass is coming. Interestingly, that Emma took herself out onto that side at that moment. Perhaps just trying to move her own position around just to add a little bit of quality to the weight, to the balls that are being played.
Walcliffe forward here, Grove to the right. Cut out before reaching her though by the backtracking Helvecia captain. Seemed to be 2v1 for a moment, but she did well. Hartpury corner. Again, it's the three-inner line opted for, but again, a very similar outcome and not being able to make anything of it.
Yeah, it's very narrow, actually quite narrow court at Repton, so really hard to probably use that corner routine. Top marks for effort, keep trying. If you don't succeed first time, try again, right?
Yeah, Hartpury well with that particular corner as well. It's something that they always look to try to make work. Into the final 30 seconds of this first half. It's the third game of 4 today. The women's side of things in the National Futsal Series. Vieira gets it back. Side-footed effort that time, ensured that she kept it down. Comfortable though for the Hartpury goalkeeper. Vieira loose control, fouled though. The yellow card is out of the pocket of Carl Jones too. It's going to be brandished the way of Grove.
I think that has to be, doesn't it? In that situation again, it's very similar to one I think we saw in the previous game where by making that challenge in that area, are you endangering the opponent? And I think in that situation, it's good refereeing. Given the free kick, he's booked Jade Grove. I would always ask the player in that, if I was a referee in that situation, is would you want a foul if that tackle was on you? I'd imagine she probably would. So. Easy win from the referee.
5 seconds of this first half left. It looks as though Hartpury are going to be heading into half time then. 3 goals to the good. And surely just send this one with a reset long and then we'll see out the remaining time, and that's indeed how it plays out. So 3-0 then to Hartpury at the midway point. Jade Grove, the scorer of the first, a brilliant individual goal in fending off the London Helvecia captain to create it. Kerry Walcliffe, the scorer of the second, a well-worked set piece following a Paul McHugh timeout. Hartpury working their free kick to perfection. And then Amy Warburn with goal number 3 to find the empty net. That's how we stand at half-time. It's London Helvecia 0, Hartpury 3. So here are the goals then from that first half, Matt. Jade Grove with the first of them.
Yeah, just individual brilliance, wasn't it? Strength, power, purpose to the way that she's moved that ball forwards and just brushes Emma Tune aside. And I touched on it at the time, but that is a very experienced, very intelligent defender who she's just got the better of. And then once she gets it within her sights on goal, she's just hammered that past Grimmen, leaving the keeper with no chance. Really good finish.
Yeah, so that was for 1-0. The opportunities continue to come. That was a good save from Grimmen at the edge of the penalty area.
Really good save, and this was the second goal, wasn't it? Where well-worked free kick, nice routine, perhaps not the execution on Amy Wathen's shot she would like, but the outcome was exactly what Hartpury wanted from it. Kerry Walker in that position to do exactly what she did.
Yeah, Wathen's initial strike, but Walcott with the touch to turn it home. That was for 2-0. This an opportunity for London Helvecia, and probably the best that they've created as well. The rest of the Vieira
has to go in, doesn't it? And this was the third one. Loose play on the fly, goalkeeper net empty, and makes it really, really easy. As we just see here, the ball goes into Ritos, and she just wasn't set, wasn't ready. Defender read it well. It's a fantastic finish, because a 3x2 goal from 35 metres away is a very small target to hit. She's taken that one very well.
Yeah, made it look simple, didn't she, Amy Wathen? I can assure you it certainly was not. 3-0 to Hartpury at half-time. Paul McHugh will be delighted with that. There's certainly work to do for Helvecia in the second half. Join us for it at half-time. It's London Helvecia 0, Hartpury 3. Welcome back then to the National Futsal Series, this women's Tier 1 game between London Helvecia and Hartpury, and it's Hartpury who at half-time are 3 goals to the good here at the Repton Sports Centre. Jade Grove, Kerry Walcott and Amy Wathen, the 3 different first-half scorers for them. London Helvecia players were deep in conversation with Enrique Guillen, their coach, at half-time. Much for them to change if they are to solve the problem which they are posed with at the midway point in this second period.
Yeah, I think first and foremost they need to move that ball quickly. This is better straight away. There's more purpose to it, and they've come through the phases really quickly. Okay, leads to nothing, but that's the level, that's the speed that I think on the tempo they need to play at, because otherwise they make it really, really easy for what's, let's be honest, is a really good defensive unit from Hartpury who've built themselves a lead. They need to work that ball right to left quicker. They need to make it harder for the defence to get out and do exactly what Sammy Scrivens has done there. And I think that it will be their best way of getting some joy in this game. They're going to have to take risks now as well, aren't they? They're 3-0 down. They've ultimately lost a big game if they're not careful.
Another long-range strike, and well, tunes in the way. It's actually a really good defensive block from the London Helvecia captain.
Yeah, she realised straight away. You saw her experience, didn't you? Because she'd already dropped into position. It was off her own pass, wasn't it? So
yeah, backtrack, covered that area really well. Certainly Helvecia can't afford to concede again. The next goal in the game, I have to feel, might prove to be a big one. Here's Vieira into the penalty area. Still Vieira, but pounced upon by Christopher.
Really interesting with Larissa Vieira as a player that we've seen a lot, Isaac, over the last couple of years, from when she started at Bloomsbury to her role in this Helvecia team now. And something that I was just thinking about at half-time was the position she's playing today. I've never ever seen her play before, and she's been nothing like the player that we're used to seeing, where she likes to go 1v1, she likes to go and engage, and she looks uncomfortable on court. And I just wonder whether she's playing out of position because they're so low on numbers and almost sacrificing herself with that. And perhaps the game as it is, they'd be better off getting into onto the other side, where we know her quality could just unlock doors.
Swept forward there by Grimmen to Blackledge, but into the side netting at that near post.
Of course, they don't have the options and the resource at the moment to be able to move things around and try that, do they? But it's definitely a problem for them. They look very disjointed.
Only against Ferreira. Yeah, that time they're leading the Helvecia press under instruction from Enrique Grien. Tune forward to Blackledge. Vieira now. Ferreira lost her footing, lost the ball.
Just not quite running for them, is it, at the moment? No real purpose or pace on anything that they're playing. I think they just need to move that ball quicker to get any joy. Just got to make it harder for Hartpury to defend it, and at the moment it's very, very simple, very straightforward. This might not be though.
Scrivens there giving the ball away. Here's Vieira.
That's more like it, in a position where we're used to seeing a box of tricks, and Larissa Vieira has just created a little bit of space, a little bit of separation for herself, and got a shot off a goal. And Katie Christopher's done well. First time she's really been called upon, I think, for a long, long time in this game. Important save.
Goalkeeper Grimmen forwards again. That's an awful kick in.
Jade Grove has just brushed Ferreira aside then. The two biggest players on court. Strong moment. But she's disappointed in herself. You can see that in not making more of that kick in that you mentioned, Isaac.
You can see the frustration because it presented the opportunity to Hartpury to really take advantage of, but they didn't. There's Walcliffe. And for the Hartpury kicking again. Vieira fouled there by the over-eager Grove, trying to get it back. Different foul. Chin. Ferreira collecting now. Larissa Vieira. A better area again. Shot's blocked though.
They need to take this quick.
Yeah, well, they had the opportunity because there was only 3 out-court defenders back there. Grove.
And Larissa Vieira was in a really good position as well. They just didn't seem to see it, did they? And I think it epitomises Helvecia today. And I can't quite work out why. Their body language is really, really not good, is it? In terms of they look defeated, and they look defeated at 1-0, let alone at 3. And still, even in this situation, this game can swing so quickly. A goal would really help them, and they're building a little bit of pressure here, but without really doing anything with it. Not really a lot happening. Correct myself, in the first half I thought it was Harvey Newstead this side of the court, isn't it? It's one of the Danish referees that are over working with the FA futsal referees this weekend, so looking to come over and gain some experience of the NFS and lend a hand, and always welcome.
Grove here on the turn again, ball still in play, the whole ball there hadn't crossed the line. Kick back there to Scrivens. Falls kindly for Enrique Brito. Now Ferreira. Better ball across. Blackledge.
Good goalkeeping.
kick starts the counter-attack as well, potentially here for Hartpury too.
I think she thought about for a split second going and joining in, didn't she, Katie Christopher? But opted not to. Good decision at 3-0.
Yeah, perhaps wisely as well there. Hartpury just keeping possession right on cue. They've given the ball away and Helvecia have the kicking, but from that counter-attacking moment, they didn't really commit too many bodies further forward after the initial moment with Christopher in possession and gone.
Again, Jade disappointed in herself. You can see that in her body language. Perhaps just needs to take a touch as that ball comes in. It's a really nice move. Work the ball right to left, and good opportunity to try and find something.
Grimmon that time sweeping it forward, again forward as the fly goalkeeper.
Amy Wathen's done really well in that fixed position when defending this fly goalkeeper. She's out really quickly to any ball that goes into that corner. And it's so important to cover that ground. Like I say, don't get me wrong, I think a court of this width does help with defending it and makes it harder, but you have to move the ball quickly to be able to make this fly goalkeeper routine work. And you see all the time Helvecia just running out of room with it. Might get something here though.
Blackledge back to Tune. Forward again to Evie Blackledge on the turn. Good save though from Christopher. Out quickly to close down the space and close down the angle.
It's better, isn't it? But again, when called upon, exceptional goalkeeping, Katie Christopher.
Tune that time getting to the ball first, which is beneficial for her as the last defender, not allowing Jade Grove that time to turn. We just saw a replay of the previous effort and save. Grove fouled that time by Brito. One each on the second half fouls. Wathen here standing behind it. Takes it as soon as the referee blew the whistle as well, forward to Grove. She had the ball again, but it's all the way out and behind. Still we have a quarter of an hour left to play, but it just feels as though the slow tempo that the game is now being played at is really playing into Hartpury's hands, because Helvecia are therefore struggling to build any real momentum or pressure on the Hartpury goal. It's being played at a quicker pace, then perhaps the momentum might just build in their favour if they could create opportunities to really trouble Christopher, but it's being played at a tempo that really favours Hartpury given the scoreline and the way in which they can just control and dictate the game both in and out of possession. Out of possession with their defensive block that's restricting the space for Helvecia to exploit.
Yeah, I think I completely agree with what you're saying. At this moment in time, everything suits Hartpury in this game, doesn't it? The clock's running slowly. They'll gradually let things move out. But oh, here we go.
Good ball swept across there from Grimmon. That big diagonal was completely open there, which is a rarity given the defensive solidity that Hartpury have displayed so far, but not that time.
Just a warning sign, isn't it? Winger just got caught too wide. Great opportunity. That'll be a Helvecia ball.
Should be. Yeah, Helvecia kicking.
Game here. Quicker. Because if they were quicker, I think they've got an opportunity here just to make something happen. But everything is so passive, isn't it? And because of that, they're making mistakes themselves as well, like that one. Come back across the court, open out onto this side of the court to where Alicia is. It's all very, very easy for Hartpury at the moment.
Grimmond again opting to try and find Brito with the diagonal ball. It's cut out that time.
Good from Tune.
Kicking there taken by James.
You can see with the Hartpury bench here, they're quite happy to just let this game passively drift by. No efforts really to get that ball moving quickly back into court. She's the sub coming in there. She should have stepped onto court first. Referee probably getting drawn into the nature of this game being quite lax as well. It's quite a hard watch, isn't it, at the moment, to try and mind anything from it. Here we go. It might be a big
spark,
quality,
doesn't it, for Helvecia? Certainly from their point of view, they just need that something, that one moment to try to then build from.
Yeah, and as we keep saying, Hartpury will just be happy. Every time I seem to look at the clock, there's a minute rolled off, a minute checked off, and they'll be happy with that, and they'll be happy with how they're managing that through.
Rito back inside, but behind Ferreira.
Really frustrating one for Helvecia this will be, because they'll know that that clock is ticking down as well. They have to get a goal quickly. That might be
advancing
a foul.
into the space. Ferreira!
There you go.
It's through the legs of the goalkeeper, and might that be the moment? 3-1. Game back on.
It should be game back on, and hopefully that gives them a little bit of purpose and a little bit of belief in this game. It's a fantastic finish, by the way. Just guided it between Katie Christopher's legs. It was all about Emma Tune, isn't it, really? Read the loose pass, found her number 9, and Ferreira did the rest. They need to remember to defend at the other end.
Hartpury looking for the instantaneous response. Good intervention from the goalkeeper.
Here we go.
Vieira away down court. Vieira has it back again. Ends up down on the deck, but definitely no foul. Hartpury with the possession, and suddenly the game seems to have a bit of life about it.
So I think that's what it needed. It needed a Helvecia goal, didn't it? And I'm hoping now that it gives them a bit of belief and purpose, and they can get something out of this, because the first 8 minutes of this second half have been a real tough one. Tough one for us to dissect, let alone anybody else. And that's better than moving the ball quicker. There you go.
And there's another Helvecia goal. And again, it's the number 9, Renata Ferreira. Goalkeeper wrong-footed. The net seemed to be empty. 3-2.
Just like that, this game has completely flipped on its head, hasn't it? I've been in this situation before, very recently, and my men's team will tell you this, but when it feels like Hartpury have conceded a goal and they completely switched off and gone to sleep, and suddenly now Enrique's called a timeout. He's trying to get them Hartpury have called a timeout, gives Enrique a chance to keep talking through this. He knows they're in the ascendancy here. They've got a great opportunity to go on and win this game, because Hartpury look a little bit gone just off the fact of conceding a goal, and have to regroup, have to reset, have to go again. Helvecia will be so pleased with that last minute. What an opportunity for them now.
Yeah, next goal in the game could now be massive.
Look at the body language here of how they've conceded. They're still winning. This is a team that's still winning this game, and they look, just through conceding a couple of goals, really under pressure, don't they? How are they going to regroup? What are they going to find?
It's almost the point at which just a spell of possession might do them some good in settling back down. Of course, the natural instinct is to go down the other end and somewhat put things right and score yourself.
But I would hope that Paul, with all of his experience, the level that he's played at, I would hope that that would be the message from him. Take your time, you're still winning the game, play your way back into it, do the basics first. Make sure your first pass is a good pass, make sure your first touch is good, win your first tackle again. Almost a complete reset of how you would start a game. Just build your way back into it, because that's what they don't want.
Helvecia at that time getting the decision, they were seemingly absolutely astounded on the substitutes bench that the call went the other way, and the kick in just prior.
Absolutely no surprise with what's going on here. Loose touch. Decision. Should be looking. Referee letting her off, I think. Good decision from her to kick that ball. The last thing you want is that ball going straight to Katie Christopher's hands, right? So, a little bit gamesmanship from Brito. I think he did give her a talking to very late on, but
yeah, just a word, I think, wasn't it, to Erica Brito? No more of that, perhaps. The message from the official.
And here we go. They're alive now, aren't they?
Ferreira, though, giving the ball away. Scrivens.
Here we go. Should be.
Wathen back across. Goalkeeper in the way.
Now's the chance.
Ferreira.
Need a third player, perhaps.
Past the defender, Ferreira. It's only a whisker wide, you know, the goalkeeper. I'm sure we'll have you know that she was comfortable in seeing that one go wide, but it wasn't too far wide at all.
This game is completely turned, hasn't it? Off one goal, because the second goal leads on from the first one. I'm happy. I think you are, because it was a really tough watch at the start of the second half. But
chance here for Hartpury. Scrivens. Goalkeeper in the way. It's still there though for Grove. Appeals for handball from the Helvecia camp. They went unanswered. Certainly from a neutral's point of view, this game is a much better watch now in the second half, given the two Helvecia goals. Really,
Sammy Scriven's not happy there, but I don't think that's a foul. I think it's a fair challenge. He's got every intention of going for the ball. When Hartpury at risk of just losing their heads here, aren't they? See, still talking, still not happy. Here we go. Great opportunity. They need a reset.
Yeah, well, if the mental strength of London Helvecia was questioned, and it was when 3-0 down, it's the mental strength of Hartpury which may now come under pressure. Still about a quarter of the game left. There's still a long way to go. And already we've seen how quickly the context of the game can change. Back across the Grove, and just like that, Hartpury score. It's Jade Grove again, and Hartpury now will be feeling a whole lot better about things given that goal.
And that's what she brings to them, doesn't she? You've seen her come into court. She's held the ball up. Nobody really wanted to defend her. She turns the ball round the corner for the supporting run, and Emma knows she can't do anything more than that once Jade's got her back to her. From that moment, awful defending, isn't it, around Emma from the Helvecia girls. Really lapse, and it'll be a really disappointing one for them because they've worked incredibly hard, to be honest, to bring some life to this game. Here's Jade again.
Given away there by Ferreira. Grove looking to turn provider for the player who got the assist for that latest goal, and Laura Dodwell. Out for the corner. Referee begins the 4-second count. It's sent only to Ariga Brito though. Scrivens. Grove held up that time.
It's a foul. Has to be.
Yeah, the yellow card is out here as well for Laura Dodwell. She joins teammate Grove by way of the caution in the referee's notebook.
Silly one as well, isn't it, really? Because he picked up a booking for that challenge, and okay, it's the second foul, 10 minutes to go. Is it going to be that important? Well, it could be later on, but we won't know from that. But I think the biggest thing is the ball was out wide. The ball had gone. Not really. It's not like it stopped a promising attack or anything like that. It's just a bit of a soft one. Naive.
Grumman misplaces that pass.
I think that me in this Helvecia system now, I think I would try and get Emma Tune onto one of the wider sort of deep roles, the winger roles in the fly goalkeeper, because I think that's where they will get the quality and the good decision making from. That's where it's breaking down the most, isn't it? Whether that means they have to almost take a gamble and play Alicia Grimmond as the back player, where Emma's playing currently, just to move that ball, I think.
Here's Grove away into the attacking half. On the turn again, and well, it might have just clipped the woodwork on its way through as well. It certainly wasn't far wide.
She's certainly a handful, isn't she? Over and over again, she's Hartpury's best outlet. inches wide, millimeters wide of that upright. We're straight back into status quo, I'd say, since that Hartpury goal, which they'll be happy about. Just the rest of us.
Yeah, well, we say that goals change games, don't we? But we've really seen examples of that here in the second half, in particular, with the two Renata Ferreira London Helvecia goals to really bring them to life in the second period, and then the Jade Grove goal that's turned it back the other way and seen the pendulum swing back again.
Let's give her some credit as well. It's exceptional. Her performance today has been exceptional because as an individual she's led the line really well. She's scored goals at important moments. It's lucky, good idea.
Short from Grimmin. Pereira. Helvecia really should take some promise. The fact that when they scored before, they scored so quickly after again. And if they do that here with that response, then they might be on for a point. But really, it just seems unlikely now that they're going to be able to break Hartpury down. There's still just under 8.5 minutes to play. Here's Brito.
They're going to have to think about 5v4 properly, aren't they? Yeah. And as a sustained strategy, I think they're utilising it at times almost like as a bit of a press break, and at times to just pin Hartpury back. But I think they're going to have to utilise it really well, because for me, with 8 minutes to go, that's going to be the best way of them finding a route back into this one. And I'd almost do it straight away. At 4-2 down, I'd do it straight away. Which is what they are, though. And as we said, and I think it's only because he's off the corner, although
the opportunity maybe to shoot.
Good decision, really good decision.
Wasn't it, from Grimmin there to close that down. It's always difficult for a fly goalkeeper in that instance to have to decide in that split second whether to press the shot or track back and try to cover the goal, but did well with the decision making and the overall outcome that time. Grimmin.
Yeah, myself and Tyler Danson, who's coaching with me this morning, we spoke about it a lot. He's obviously one of our men's first team keepers. In those situations for a goalkeeper, I think you have a split second to make that decision, but I think it's really important, whichever decision you make, you stick with your first one and you just go for it. And Tyler has had a couple of games last year where he's made really important challenges which have led to us sustaining pressure and scoring goals in that situation. And it's a message that we're trying to embed in our women's team, that when we go and we look to utilise it, stay high. Stay high if you need to be. If you feel that you can go and win the ball, go and win the ball. But the biggest thing is you must stop that phase of play. So if that means giving away a foul.
All the way across here to Vieira. Vieira has a second bite at it too. It's eventually collected by Christopher.
She should score. I think that sums her game up today. Without really wanting to question an individual, I think she's not been the player I've certainly seen in the past. Played within herself, certainly, whether a little bit frustrated by the lesser numbers or the situation that they find themselves in, or as we touched on earlier, being on the opposite side of the court to perhaps where she would normally want to be. She's been far from her best.
Ball pass didn't find its way back to Grimmin. The long range strike drops just the wrong side of the post.
They're going to have to gamble now, though, aren't they? 6 minutes to go. Have to take some risks. They're losing the game anyway. Position they're in the league, they might as well lose 5 or 6-2 than lose 4-2.
Sloppy again for Helvecia in possession. Did get the kick in, though, in attacking position. Grimmin is now forward centrally.
I think this is the best way of them playing it, because they'll get Emma's quality, out on the wing and her decision making. She'll look for the second post, she'll look for the ball down the line, but she'll also know when to come back in and reset. And she'll be the player who's smart enough to do things like this as
Give
well.
it away there, straight to tune. It's a really big save from Christopher there to deny Evie Blackledge. It's such a let off that for Hartpury, who can breathe a real big sigh of relief. Tune sweeping that up, and she was the player who set away the opportunity in winning the ball back in the central area of the court. Vieira.
Oh, unlucky. Really good idea. Execution just let her down a little bit, didn't it? But Ferreira was in a good position. Kept it in.
Ferreira's done really well there to keep the ball in play.
Oh, what a goal.
Ferreira.
What a goal.
Well, it's a hat-trick for the London Helvecia number 9. And despite being on the wrong side of the scoreboard, well, they might not be for much longer, Helvecia. It's game back on again.
And she deserves that just for the work rate and the tireless work rate she's put. She's come all the way from the left-hand side of the court to pick that ball out of thin air. And it's a great first touch. It's a lovely step over as she drives forward. There was purpose to what she was doing. She deserves that goal. It's her third, her team's third, and she's put them back in the game. Now it's important that they don't concede again. Well done.
The challenge from Ferreira.
It's an exceptional game. Exceptional. The second half, I think she's been a real bright spot for Helvecia.
It's the final 5, but just the one goal. Splits to 2 sides now.
Pressure's on.
Back to the goalkeeper inadvertently.
Ian Bates showing why he's a referee and not a goalkeeper there. Managed to not only drop one ball, but completely miss the other.
That's behind for the goal clearance. Brito. Hartpury remember having already used their timeout in the second half, so they don't have that as an option if they want to start feeling the pressure from their London Helvecia opponents in what remains. Four and a half minutes to play. A stoppage at the moment as the far side official, Carl Jones, attends to something. To go again now. It's Tune at the back of the court once more. Vieira stepping forward with it in search of Ferreira again.
Goalkeeping from Christopher, brave goalkeeping. Feet of the number of players.
Yeah, when you think back to the saves that she made in the half as well, there's been 2 or 3 good stops from the Hartpury goalkeeper. And in a game as tight as this now, Hartpury somewhat have their goalkeeper to thank for the fact that it is still in their favour. Christopher sends it forward, but nobody in red. Well, we do have it back now, but it then took a touch off Vieira. Still Hartpury with it. Grove. Blocked by Larissa Vieira. Now the Helvecia skipper Tune again. Ferreira taking charge. Loose pass. did well to get to the ball first that time, and that's when she's had most success, Emma Tune, at the back of the court up against Grove, in what has been a really intriguing individual battle between Tune and Grove today. Tune collecting from the goalkeeper. James has it back for Hartpury. Up and over halfway too. And forward to Grove again. And well, somehow she's put it wide. It seemed for all the world as though that was going to end up in the back of the net, certainly with a player of her quality bearing down on goal.
Just take a look at this here. I think Hartpury quite rightly are asking for a couple of fouls or at least something out of that. Larissa Vieira's had a couple of niggles. Once that went into Jake Grove, though, you expected it to be a goal, didn't you? Uncharacteristic, as you say. She hasn't. Despite what the board says, there isn't 23 minutes left in this one. Good save. Really good save. I think we
apologies for the scoreboard graphic there. I can assure you it's still 4-3 to Hartpury. And edging closer, aren't they, now, to the finishing line? Just over 2 minutes. 2 minutes and 10 seconds it is that we have of playing time left. That just struck an arm of Grove. It's a Helvecia free kick. Helvecia need a goal.
Yeah, now's crunch time, isn't it? Now's the time they just have to gamble. If they can get a goal back, you have to feel that if they get a goal back, it'll be really disheartening for Hartpury, who have defended really, really well in this, without ever really being, for large parts, without really being challenged, but have still had to do their jobs well.
Brilliant.
Now this is about, can Helvecia move that ball with quality and pace, not do things like that, because that puts
they've
them
given
in
the ball
all
away,
sorts
and
of trouble.
Tune's in the way again. Not the first time that we've seen that sort of a defensive block from Emma Tune.
Using all that experience and intelligence, that's a pass, a really good pass.
Finding Blackledge there, the Helvecia captain, breaks the way of Ferreira, skips past Grove.
Decision making, keep the ball, build pressure, don't give possession away. That's a foul.
Looked a foul, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm surprised that's not been given. That would certainly be frustrated with that one.
Yeah, Sam Scriven's now here, back to the feet, but still moving a little gingerly. .75 seconds left. Remember the context of the game as well, and really what a big 3 points this could prove to be for Hartpury. This is a game which has much more on the line, potentially at least at the end of the season, in terms of the race for the top four, than just the game today. Also, in turn, it would be a big point for Helvecia if they could find it, because in doing so, they take two of Hartpury. It's a big minute just over here that we have in store. Referee blows the whistle. I believe it's handball that's been given there against Helvecia, so Hartpury free kick.
Initially, I thought he'd given it for a charge almost, like a screen by Sammy Scrivens. Yeah, I think you're right. Must have been handball.
Grove. Another Hartpury goal would really put the seal on things now, but going to find it like that. Wathen. Grove gets it back, but challenged and not in a way which won the ball there by Ferreira.
She won't mind at this time in the game. She'll take that for a team, 100%. Strong pivot play again. For me, I think they're going to shoot, but for me, I would keep the ball.
Yeah, well, they did take the option of shooting direct on goal. It was Amy Wathen who scored in the first half, but
I think they've got lucky there. I think they've got away with one because I think for me, winning the game, 40 seconds left in the game when the time they took that free kick, I would just keep the ball.
Grove there to Scrivens. Good save from Grimmen. Keeps Helvecia in with a chance.
She's had an exceptional game, hasn't she, Alicia Grimmen?
Did well actually to turn it away from the path of Dodwell too in making the stop. Scrivens tackled well by Emma Tune. Into the final 20 seconds of playing time.
Yeah, no surprise, timeout coming in.
Yeah, London Helvecia timeout then. We
One.
saw the card handed in by Enrique Guillen, so 18 seconds, I believe it is, to play when the two teams return to court. It's a big 18 seconds in that as well. Hartpury very nearly got to the finishing line, but it won't count for the 3 points if they don't get there for the final 18 seconds that they need to see out. Helvecia, with very little time left, but they do still have some time if they can create an opportunity on goal.
One last throw of the dice for them, isn't it, this? An opportunity, perhaps, just to grab something out of nothing. They've worked hard to get themselves, I have to say, give them a bit of credit, they've worked hard to get themselves back into this position, but this is one last chance for them to perhaps bring this game level. For Hartpury, it's just about defending strong, defending your goal, putting your bodies on the line, and you're going home with 3 points. Let's see what they have up their sleeve.
Yeah, seemed to be very clear with the instruction there, Enrique Guillen. Tune across to Grimmen. Breaks back now, and this is very much off script from anything from the timeout. There was a question of handball down the other end. The long-range strike is not too far wide. 5 seconds.
Interesting to see that one again. I know it's up close, but there's definitely a question of it. It seemed to be a very loud shout, did they? But
long from the goalkeeper all the way through to Christopher, and that will be time. The goalkeeper can just hold on to the ball for the final 3 seconds. And there, the sound of the buzzer is a relieving one for Hartpury, who do get over the line with the 3 points confirmed as theirs. 4-3 the full-time score. They led 3-0 at half-time. Remember, London Helvecia gave it what they had in the second half. Renata Ferreira with a hat-trick, in actual fact, in that second period to really bring the London team back in with a shot. But Hartpury ultimately hold on, and Jade Grove gets the winning goal. 4-3 the final score. Let's show you the goals.
And that's it. That was the first Helvecia response, wasn't it? Ferreira, all about Emma Tune this. Read it well, rode the tackle from Sammy Scrivens, nipped in ahead of Amy Wathen, and it's a great finish from Ferreira. And this was a turning point in the game, wasn't it? Because up until this moment, I thought Helvecia were well beaten. They looked beaten in themselves. Their body language wasn't great. And then from here, just a moment of a really good moment of a bit of play on the fly goalkeeper routine, and Ferreira again just wrong-footed Katie Christopher as the sort of cross pass came into the middle, and suddenly you thought this looked like Helvecia could undo everything that Hartpury had done so well. Goalkeeper will be really frustrated with that one because she has just been wrong-footed and he's given no chance to get back across a goal. But then this was all about Jade Grove, wasn't it? Strength, just power, and also intelligence as well, just to hold that ball up, bring your teammates into play, and then get to the second post, just slide that ball home. It's a really good finish, a textbook pivot move, really. And so many times when called upon, that is what Jade Grove gives to this Hartpury team, and ultimately that was the goal that has sealed them the game. Here's Ferreira's third. Unbelievable first touch, drove forward with a purpose. This step over here is Fantastic. Sells Amy one. And then it's a good finish with a weaker foot, isn't it?
Yeah, brilliant individual goal that from Ferreira. 3 for her in that second half, but on the wrong side of the scoreline. Home team Helvecia. Again, textbook pivot play from Grove, nearly providing the assist for another there for Hartpury at the end, but they had enough to get over the line. Confirmation of their 4-3 victory. It might prove to be a big one in the greater scheme of things this season as well. Earlier today, Bolton beating Southampton Aztecs by 6-1 in the women's Tier 1, and we still have one more women's top flight game still to bring to you. 4:45 the kick-off time as Hertfordshire Vipers face Birmingham. Join us for that one.